Good evening, fellow Titans, and welcome back to another City of Titans related video. First and foremost, before I get this video started and out the way, I have to say that I am really sorry for, not uploading a video in several weeks or even in the course of July. I know if you guys actually watch the discussion tab, you actually know I always update that regularly, just telling you what my current status is on videos and what the next topic usually is going to be about. But yeah, the month of July was pretty crazy for me in regards to summer, so I found it getting a little hard to make videos, but I promise I'm going to try to get that fixed and out the way with before the summer starts to boil down, as we only have about a month left. But as you can see, this current video is actually going to be about what is called the Second Chance Kickstarter. I'm going to be doing what I usually do, doing a brief overview about what is the Second Chance Kickstarter, what it's going to entail, and near the end of the video I may provide my speculation on when we could possibly see it. But until then, let's actually get into this video and see and break down everything about what it is and how it came to be. So the first thing we should actually start about is a brief overview. So back in around 2013-2014, Missing Worlds Media, also known as MWM, they created a Kickstarter campaign for an MMORPG that would be under the working title of the Phoenix Project. It had only been a year or two since the passing, the death of City of Heroes, and the COX community was left in shambles and in tears after so many petitions went around trying to save the game. Ultimately, the company NCSoft really didn't hear their fans' cries and eventually had to shut the game down entirely. And again, about a year or so after this, a volunteer studio, or just better yet, a volunteer collective, came together, formed the company that we now know as Missing World Media, and created what will now that we all recognize now as City of Titans. With a goal of $320,000 in order to properly afford and pay for the software needed to create the Phoenix Project, Missing Worlds Media earned far more than what they had ever expected by raking in $680,000 upon the campaign's closure. And this was all within the first year, if not couple months, of the campaign's first launch. Now, this was actually something that took a lot of people by storm and eventually became the overall belief that this would be the true spiritual successor to City of Heroes, even though there are several other spiritual successors also being made as we speak currently. So, what does this have to do with the Second Chance? Well, as some of you should know, not everybody who monitors City of Titans actually was able to donate at the Kickstarter at the time. The reason is very, very broad for every individual. There was probably financial problems they were going through, so they couldn't donate any money, or they didn't really like the sound of a volunteer project working on a MMORPG, so they just didn't invest their time into it. And now a lot of people missed out, and including me. Myself, I am not a Kickstarter back of their original project, and I strongly regret it. But that's the reason why I'm making this video, to explain what the Second Chance is and offer my opinions on when we could likely see it. But again, I'd like to also stress that I am speculating. I'm not giving actual dates or when we could possibly see things. This is just going off of a very, very, very small time schedule that we have left of the 2018 year and going into 2019. But that's neither here or there right now. As we expect from most Kickstarters or crowd fundraisers, as I like to call them, there is usually always perks. These perks are basically our digital rewards that we get in return for backing these projects. Now, the Missing Worlds Media, they provided several different rewards, which will be explained in the next slide. But in other words, this Second Chance is going to offer these exact same rewards that the original Kickstarter had, apart from probably a few. But that's mostly because on Kickstarter.com you can actually see, if you were to actually look, there are actually some limited perks that only a handful of people are left to donate to. But going into it, what were some of the rewards that were included. Now, these rewards are very broad. The first two that come off the top of my head were you get the title of Kickstarter backer on the City of Titans website forums, which is done by putting a green K underneath your name, and that is done by the developers themselves to mark you as a Kickstarter backer. If you donated around $25 to $50 or so, you basically purchased City of Titans, and you would be getting a free digital download upon the game's launch day. So basically, you wouldn't have to pay for the game. You would also be getting exclusive perks such as costume pieces and probably titles and auras and animations for your character on your game account. Like I said, the Second Chance Kickstarter is supposed to be bringing back most of these rewards with the goal of turning most of the volunteers that have been working for City of Titans for the past 5.5 years, I think it has been, into full-time employees. So that's actually something I look forward to, because after seeing them dedicate so much time without pay and on their own time trying to create this game, I think it's going to be really great to see a lot of these workers finally being turned over into actual paid employees. So I think that's something you can really look forward to. And as the closing sentence there is essentially making this a second chance for those who didn't get to back the original Kickstarters due to financial troubles during the time. And this is where you say it sounds awesome, but why have I been using quotations around the word Kickstarter? I've been using the quotations around Kickstarter because, well, the Missing Worlds media team is not thinking about using Kickstarter.com again in order to make this second Kickstarter, especially after they've already had one successful campaign on there already. Now, in my guess, I think they could likely use Patreon.com, but they already are using Patreon for their Hijinks webcomic, so maybe they don't want to do that there. I don't know what website they may have in mind for using in order to have this second chance, but either way, I can't wait till we get some form of announcement just telling us when we should see it and when we should get our money ready so we can finally donate. Point of the matter is, Kickstarter primarily has been used loosely in order to describe the fundraiser and or the second chance in conversation, but that doesn't mean it's going to be on Kickstarter.com. And yeah, so that's about it. Now this is where my speculation comes in. Alright, so it is July as I record this, and it should still be July when I upload it. That means we will have about maybe 5 more months, I think. Geez, it's really late as I record this, but we have the rest of 2018 to see a status update on things such as the character creator, also known as the Chargen video for City of Titans, and how is that going and when we should expect to see that. I think, what is his name? Dr. Tyke, one of the lead developers for City of Titans, has actually stated that they're looking to have something playable by the end of this year. Whether this is beta, I am not sure. I do not know. I don't think it's going to be beta, but if it is, that is going to be awesome. How I see it is like this. I think they're going to try and release the character creator sometime within the next couple months. I'm not saying they will, and I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just saying this character creation video, or this character creation client, should come out sometime this year. I hope. I really hope that it should come out sometime this year, if not towards the very end of the 2018 year. And then once that's done, they'll regularly update the client with new costume pieces, new animations, and things like that. It will not include the ability to customize your powers or anything, but it will include the ability just to make your character and save the files to your computer. That way, when the game does go live, all you have to do is load up a costume you want to use and go right into game. From there, I like to speculate also that could probably be when the Second Chance Kickstarter comes around. The reason for this is because I think they would like to, their first priority is wanting to get this character creator out into the public hands already. Now, I'm not specifically sure if this will be available for everybody. I want to think, yes, everyone will have access to the character creator. This is not a exclusive Kickstarter only type thing. I think everyone should have access to it because it really would be unfair for the fact that only a handful of people are able to test such a client, and everyone else is left having to twiddle their thumbs and just become envious of other City of Titans players because they got to play around with the character creator. So yeah, I think they will let this run for a couple weeks to several months, and then from there they will probably release the Second Chance Kickstarter. Or it could be the very vice versa, and they do Second Chance Kickstarter first and then Character Creator. But I think it may be Character Creator first, Second Chance Kickstarter second. That way, okay, you guys had your time to toy around the Character Creator, make your costumes and all sorts of things, share with your friends. Then this is where they'll release the Kickstarter. Remember, quotations are on Kickstarter. Doesn't mean it's going to be actually on Kickstarter.com. So they'll release that, have that be funded, and then, alright, everything's well and dandy. Now, the final aspect. Um, I'll just say the status of beta. Now, I'll be honest. I think beta, we probably won't be seeing that anywhere until maybe the very, very, very later half of 2018 into the early 2019 year. The reason for that is because, again, I think the next several months are going to be dedicated to probably releasing the character creator and getting the finishing touches work done on that. And for those who've actually seen the Chargen video, they do seem to have gone very far and have managed to get the bare bones skeleton of what the character creator is going to be and what to expect from it. Alright, once that's released, I think then we'll probably see something regards to the status on either the Second Chance or the beta, if not both. Alright, now, again, it's the later half of July as I record and probably go to upload this, so who knows, we probably will be getting an update as of August on something. Hopefully, I honestly hope it's something on the Second Chance, to be fair, because I've been waiting so long for the Second Chance Kickstarter to become a thing. So, yeah, hopefully this is something that we do see as the next big update that they have, which are usually months apart. But, yeah, I think that will be about it. I wish all of you Titans a good day or even a good evening. Fly free, and remember to answer the call.